Hey guys, we are live,
Yes,
everybody.
we are. Hello, hello,
Welcome,
hello.
welcome, welcome, welcome to our replay viewers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. We are
Yeah.
about to dish, honey. You're about to dish with the divas. So you already know what to do. If this is your first time, welcome, 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 welcome. And to our returning uh, people, our returning family members who are always dishing with us on Fridays, welcome, welcome, welcome. I see people are joining. Please let us
Yeah.
know that you're here. Why don't you just announce yourself, the queen or the king's in the building, and where you are joining us from? That would be amazing. Just let us know where you're from and introduce yourselves to us. And tonight,
Mm-hmm.
guys, we have just the three of us. As you can see, the other ladies are otherwise occupied. Again, summertime, busy, vacations, commitments. You know how we do in the summertime. So we have to give grace to everybody. All right. All right. So in the house, we have our good old faithful Donzel's here. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey,
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 Denzel.
Denzel.
Don't
Hey.
count on Donzel to be in the building at every opportunity, right?
Exactly.
And
Denzel, what state are you in? I love it. Denzel is like tried and true, faithful.
always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I love
Jacqueline.
it.
Jacqueline's here from Louisiana.
Oh,
These are
Hey, Lenny.
our good old faithfuls from Canada, honey. They coming in. Donzel's in
hey.
Ohio.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Good
I
old,
actually have family in Ohio too. Hey,
awesome.
Leonie.
Good old Miss Leona is always here.
Always.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, Leonie. Leonie says she's
Oh,
back and
she's
she is
good.
sick. Oh, you'll
Aw.
feel better soon. You know
Sorry.
what to do. Let me give you a little Jamaican concoction. Get you some white rum, some overproof white rum, and put a little lemon in it, and boom, good to go. You healed.
Well, if that doesn't settle in, it would definitely make you sleepy.
Exactly. It's only
So make you should
one or
feel a
two
little
days.
better.
Welcome, DIY with Aria. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Hey, Aria,
Oh
welcome,
yeah.
welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, she
Yeah,
has
he's pretty
a channel.
name.
Yes, she has a channel as well. We need to check you out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Aria.
Right.
That's really a pretty name.
Very pretty name. Aria is
It's,
in
it's
Illinois.
Illinois.
Nice.
Illinois. Lots of noise. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, while you're here, you're coming in. I'm just going to ask you to just, give us a thumbs up while you're here. And if you can please share, just share on whatever social media platform that you can so that others can join us, you know, and be a part of this dish as well. Leonie said she
Yeah.
did the rum thing last night and she slept all night. Look at God.
See?
You just put her away, honey. Just
You
out like
like
a light.
this?
Out like a
That's
light.
like the best sleep though, right? Like
I know that's
I don't know
right.
what you guys call it in Jamaica, but like in Texas here we call it a hot toddy. And it's
That's
like
what we call it, a
Hot
hot toddy.
toddy.
Mm-hmm.
it's the best
A
sleep.
hot
It's like because
toddy.
you can't breathe. And it's like, oh, thank you. I can breathe. I can
I
sleep.
know
You,
that's
yeah.
right. I know that's right.
See, I drink a hot toddy. I don't know what I'm feeling afterwards. I be sleeping.
That's what I'm feeling
Exactly.
on it. All right. And then in the house we have my beautiful, gorgeous, amazing mama, Jella
Hey,
is
hey, there she
here, honey.
is.
Jella is here, honey. Hey,
How do
hey,
you say her
mama.
name, Shalomi?
Her name is Angela.
Oh, she just got Jella on here.
Jella Chin. Yeah.
Okay,
Gelatin.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, hi, Miss Angela.
Hello, hello, Miss Angela.
Angela
Gelatin.
is in the
I
building.
love that your mom always joins.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's one of my biggest supporters.
I love
Mm-hmm.
it. I
What
love
is
it.
it? Sweet Tea Kim. Sweet Tea Kim is here, honey, from Illinois. Welcome, Sweet
Hey,
Tea Kim.
hey, Illinois in the house.
I
I
know
was
that's
going to say that Illinois is in the house, man.
yes.
Yeah.
Illinois showing off. Stand up, Illinois. Y'all better stand up. So we have Kim from Sweet Tea Kim from Illinois, and Ari is also from Illinois. Welcome, welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right. So I was saying earlier that it's just the three of us tonight. So make sure that you're ready to rock and roll with us. A very, very interesting episode that we saw on the show. But before we get into anything, even though it's three of us, I got to introduce my sisters because what else would I be doing? So I'm going to introduce them as they appear on my screen. First up is the amazing, beautiful, the black and white diva herself. It is Miss Bree, honey. I'll give it up for Bree.
Hello, everyone. So glad you could join us today. We're really excited to have you.
Awesome. Let's see you put up those hand clap emojis. Look, we need to get the chat popping, okay?
Yeah.
Emojis.
Get
I
it
want
popping.
you to talk back to us. We needed to tell us off. We needed to apologize after you do that, and then we get back in your good graces, and you back into our good graces. But let's pop off in the chat. I want to see fire emojis. I want to see hand clap emojis. All of that good stuff.
Exactly. We want to see the energy.
I want to feel your energy. All right. It's the weekend, guys, and I know
that's right. I wanted fire.
It is a long weekend because there's a holiday on Monday in Canada. So I know y'all came with all that long weekend energy. So I need to feel it in the chat. All right.
All right.
All right. And then next, my amazing sister, beautiful, right from the Decor Corner, honey. It is Kenya from Kenya's Decor Corner. Welcome, Kenya. Hey, go ahead, Sweetie Kim. Sweetie Kim's getting it popping. All right.
Yes.
There you go.
And of course,
hi guys.
I am your glamorous penny pincher, Shalomi, from the Glamorous Penny Pincher. And let me remind you guys, if you are not following us on social media, on Instagram, and on right here in these YouTube streets, what exactly are you waiting for? We need you to go on our channel and click the subscribe button and make sure that you also hit the notification bell. That way, every time we go live like this or we put up new content, you will be the first to know.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how you do that. That's how you do that. That's right.
I know. Just make it do what it do. You guys already know the protocol. You're watching us. It's enough for you to subscribe. All right. All right. So, ladies, what are you drinking? Kenya, what are you drinking today? I saw you sipping away. What you drinking?
Y'all already know I am on a hydration kick. And so I'm drinking water in my really cute teal cup.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
Classy and cute, honey. Wait till you see what my water is in. And Bree, what are you drinking? I'm sure Bree's probably having a fancy cocktail.
Well, not fancy, but white wine with some fruit. That's what I'm having today.
I am not.
Thank goodness the heat has cooled down, and it was like 71 today. I was like,
oh my goodness, that's glorious. We're still in the hundreds.
I wish we could say the same, but we can't hear you in these Georgia streets. No, it's hot. All right.
Look, Houston is burning up. I'm like, can we please get just into the 90s? Like, can we get out the hundreds, please? That's why I'm trying to stay hydrated.
Can we just take the edge off just a little bit?
Something.
Just a little bit.
If it were 90, I would be like, "Ooh, it's cool today."
It's cool today. That's funny. It's cool today.
That's true.
I know that's right.
That's
true.
All
right, guys, in the chat, I am drinking water. I'm keeping myself hydrated as well. And I've done really good this week. I've been doing like 4 to 5 bottles a day. That is a huge step up from the half a bottle, okay? I'm gonna need you to show some love. I'm getting my water in.
Then you put some water drops in the chat.
Some water emojis in the chat, right? I stepped up my game from half a bottle to 4 to 5 bottles a day. All right, I'm doing.
Your body is thanking you. I'm sure your kidneys are like, "Thank you, Lord."
Thank you. They are like bowing down right now because they're like, "Lady, we don't know what happened to you, but we're glad about it." All right. Oh my goodness. What are you guys drinking in the chat? Let us know what you're drinking. Let us know what you're drinking, guys. DIY with Aria. Aria said she's already subscribed and she wish she could subscribe twice. We wish you could subscribe twice too.
I'm writing her channel name down so I can be sure to go check it out afterwards.
I already have it right there.
All right. So no one in the chat, no one in the chat's drinking anything. Y'all just here, just not drinking anything on a Friday evening after a long week,
No,
and it's hot.
no, I don't believe that.
I don't care what you're drinking. If it's water, I need to hear it. Jacqueline, there we go. Jacqueline's on the hydration train.
Yes.
Water in.
Okay, now who's that with the chips and the Pepsi?
Where? Did I miss that?
No, I'm just wondering. She's always drinking the chips. I mean, drinking the Pepsi and the chips.
I know
Who is
that's
that?
right. All right, Sandra is here. Sandra's having sweet tea.
Mm,
Have some like some
one of my
peach.
favorites.
Ooh, that's nice and
Yeah.
I
cool,
know, but
sweet
because
tea.
I'm trying to be a good girl, y'all know I go on vacation in 2 weeks, honey. I'm trying to get my snatch on. Yeah.
I
Snuggle
hear
it.
you.
Do y'all know in the north where I'm from, we didn't do sweet tea? The only thing we
Really?
did with tea is drink it in a cup hot. Yes.
And
Only
that's
time I
pretty much
known about sweet tea when I came to the South.
that's pretty much up north. That's in Canada too. And the thing about it is when you are down south, let me see if Kenya can identify. You have to say sweet tea, or you could get
Hmm.
unsweetened tea. Now,
Exactly.
when you're in Canada, you just have to say tea, um, iced tea. There's no
Mm-hmm.
unsweetened because
Mm-hmm.
we're not rolling like that. And you're probably gonna get you
Mm-hmm.
a bottle of Lipton or something like that. One of those or from the can. You are never
Look,
going to see like how you have like the drink canisters with you go or the drink station and
yeah,
yeah, no ma'am, not up north, not up north. Uh,
that's
No.
crazy.
Yeah.
What you guys have to have, I'm sure, especially now that you're in the South, Shalomi and Bree, you're in the South too. I mean, that's basically technically the South. I don't know if you guys have had sun tea, but when you let the tea brew in the sun all day long,
oh
Not till
that's
I came
no,
down here.
the
Mm-hmm. Not
best
till I
tea.
came
Yeah,
down here.
I've never had
yeah.
that, honey.
Yeah. Yeah. I had sun tea.
I've never
Yes,
had.
it's the best. And then you add lemons to it. And then,
Mm-hmm.
of course, you got to
Mm-hmm.
sweeten it up. And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's
Oh
so
wow.
growing up, we would have sun tea all the time. So it was just, and it was always sweet. So nobody ever drinks unsweetened tea. And nobody ever drank it hot. It was like, who needs something hot? It's hot enough. We need something with some ice.
Listen, I'm from
Donzel with the apple juice. I hear you, Donzel. Apple juice all the
Donzel's
way.
getting Donzel, you need some kind of sponsorship because you're always going in with apple juice. I'm not sure which brand.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Love My Babies Forever is in the house.
Oh,
He says, I'm
hey.
hydrating as well, child. I know we got to get this water in. We got to get this water in. Come on, guys. Let's
Yes.
keep drinking. Here's my aunt. My aunt Juliet's in the house. Hey, Jules.
All right.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let us know what you're drinking if you're drinking anything at this time. All right, guys, let's get into it. What time is it? It is now 7:13. So let's get into the show. Guys, I'm excited about this episode, okay?
Me
Uh,
too.
and tonight we are going to, for those of you who don't know, we are looking at the HGTV show called Revealed. And what we do is we come on every Friday night and review the episodes. Tonight we will be reviewing episode 5.
Mhm,
Episode 5. Yeah, the show is called Revealed. That's it, Revealed. Episode
mhm,
5. And the concept of the show is to incorporate um things from your like history, like your ancestry and things from like your ancestors and stuff into your home, that you can use as like heirlooms to pass down to your children, but incorporate like that and your culture into your home, clearly represented. So I absolutely love the concept of the show. So tonight we're going to review episode 5 of Revealed, and this episode is called 100-Year-Old Dream House.
yes.
100-Year-Old Dream House. Hello to those who are just coming in. Kim Toya, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. So in the episode, we have a lovely couple,
Mm,
Adrienne and Lior, and they have 2 children. They have a 7-year-old and they have a cute little 18-month-old baby. Yeah, so I'm like, oh my goodness, like they want to get out of the current house they're in into their dream home pretty quickly. So,
Mm-hmm.
in the episode, at the top of the episode, we get to understand from the host who's Veronica, these are return clients for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had done their previous home and they showed like still shots of it and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I really liked it. So they were actually excited now that they have purchased this 100-year-old house. Obviously, you're going to need to do a lot on the inside, and they entrusted all that work to her to come back and do the second home because they were very pleased with the one she did first.
Yeah.
And when I saw the outside, when I saw the screenshots of the first house, I was like, "That's Bree right there, honey." It was black and white.
Black and white.
I was like, "That is Bree. That is Bree. That is Bree."
Mhm.
So I really like the idea that they reach back for her. It kind of
Yeah.
reminded me of um, an episode or two that Gailey did on her
Mm-hmm.
show, Home in a
Mm.
Heartbeat, where she had repeat clients, right? Because they were
Right.
Mhm.
satisfied with what she
Mhm.
did. So they have a $280,000 budget and a 9-week
Right.
timeline. That's a healthy budget.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was your first impressions, guys, of I don't think they showed outside too much with her even going
If
up.
they did, it was such a flash. The only thing I seen that was outside was just the front porch that had the red door. Was it red? I think it was
Yes,
red. And the
it was
planters. That's all I see.
exactly. It was a quick flash of the outdoors. So
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna step right inside. And what are your thoughts? What were your thoughts when you saw the original home?
Very colorful.
Uh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the walls
Very
were
colorful.
painted in
Mhm.
different colors. What else? Kenya, what were your thoughts when you saw the original home?
So I thought, wow, it's definitely dated, but I thought it had good bones. And I was like, whoever had it before, that probably, it looked to me like they probably had some good design taste for that period, because like those black and white checkered floors was
Yes.
like really a nice back in the day, whatever, and they still didn't look horrible even to me now. Of course it needs to be a bit updated, but I was like, okay, whoever had this home before, looks like to me they took some care, with it
Yes.
or whatever, and they wanted their home to be beautiful. um and so I just thought, okay, this is a good house to make your forever home. I thought it was a good purchase, for them, for their forever spot.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
agree. I think it was a beautiful home in its original state. Um,
Hmm.
it had a lot of character, a lot of
Yeah.
details and stuff, and I love that about it. Yeah, obviously outdated because it's an older home, but I think it was one of those homes where, homes built long ago that like the rooms were bigger and stuff like that.
Yeah. And they
So
were
I
built
really
to
like that.
last.
Hmm.
Wow. Let me just
Hmm.
jump in the comments here. So Love My Babies Forever said, listen, my first apartment had a different color in every room. Lord, how far I've come. Thank you. He said, Lord, how far I've come. Thank you, Jesus. Girl, we have all come far, okay? Because
Yes,
that was the thing back in the day, right? Like
exactly.
one person wanted their room pink, the other one wanted it in a green color, and then the bathrooms were in
Hmm.
mint green. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We remember the mint green era, honey, when the bathrooms were
Powder
mint
blue. Yeah.
But
powder
at
blue.
least at least back then it did match.
What?
But
It
that,
was a whole family
but
of color.
yeah, yeah, it had some kind of matchy something to
It
it.
looked good then,
Yeah, then.
I remember in the early 2000s in my home, there was like I had like a bay window in the kitchen, like the little
Mm.
breakfast area, and I remember
Hmm.
in that era was like an apple green.
Oh.
Yes,
Apple green.
yes, and that like a Granny Smith apple, that green.
Yeah,
Hmm. I
yeah,
know what you're
yeah.
talking about because they had the counters that color too.
And then the kitchen was like a light yellow. And then
Oh
the
yeah.
dining room was a different color, and the living room was a different, and it was popping back then. Like people would come here and be
Yeah.
like, "Wow, this is nice." How
Yeah.
old? Don't do it now.
No.
No. You're
Don't do it.
right. I
Yeah.
had a
So
yellow kitchen also at one
huh?
point.
Yeah.
Yellow
My
and
mom had a
brown.
yellow kitchen. I
A
think it
lot of
was
people
yellow
had
or
a
kind
yellow,
of
and then we
mustard
moved
color.
into the earth tone era. Who were the
Mhm.
earth tones, honey? Like everything,
Mm-hmm.
like the browns and the cream
Reds,
and the
maroons.
mustards and
Mm-hmm.
the yeah, and it was
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The maroons, the olive green, yeah,
There
all
you
those, yeah.
go. So
Mm-hmm.
to love my baby's point, yeah, we all have all come a long way. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
All my walls now, like the entire house is like an eggshell, and I'm
Yeah,
Hmm.
fine with it. Yeah,
yeah,
Hmm.
I'm good with it. I love it.
yeah.
All
Hmm.
right. So the style that they talked about when she said, what style do you she did not say colored paint is still
She did.
bestowed.
She said,
Yes,
what?
they still sell colored paint. Leona is not coming back nowhere, and I hope it never comes back.
It's a way to do
Just
it, I guess. If you want to have some color, it's a way to do it. So,
Yeah, so you can do the family of
yeah,
color, right?
yeah.
Like just go
Every
to the
room don't need to be a
coastal
rainbow. It doesn't
clothing.
need to be a rainbow. Every room doesn't have to be something different. They should all, like you said, be in the same color family so they
Yeah,
coordinate with each other.
exactly. So the style that they discussed, I honestly never heard about it before. The coastal grandma. Have you
the
ever heard
who?
I
of
was
the
like, what?
coastal grandma? I was like, what? And so I had to look it up. It was pretty though. It's more like laid back, comfy, like luxurious, sophisticated neutrals and all that stuff. It's kind of like I think we see it a lot, and we sometimes can maybe confuse it with either like um farmhouse or boho.
Mm,
Mm.
mm,
So
hmm.
that is something that I'm definitely going to look into quite a bit. It's called Coastal Grandma. I know it doesn't sound sexy, but it's called.
No,
Coastal grandma.
I
I
thought
never
it was
heard of that.
something she made up. I didn't think to Google it.
No, I
I thought she was
actually
making that
Googled
up.
it. I was like, oh, there is such a thing. Okay,
I was
Coastal
like,
Grandma.
what
Coastal
in the world
grandma.
is this gonna look like? Coastal
Uh-huh.
grandma,
No,
okay.
I
But
know.
what?
At first,
Yeah, yeah.
I was
I can
like,
see it.
really, Veronica? Coastal
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, boho.
Grandma?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah,
I
but
will Google it though to see what some images look like of it because I was I have to say, I'll just say this now. I was pleased with the outcome of this episode. So I'm
Mhm.
like, I didn't think coastal grandma, I didn't Google it, so I didn't know that was a thing. But I'm like, okay, I'll have to look into it.
that Coastal Grandma was popping. I know that's right. K43 Love say, or K43 Love, I love one accent wall in my dining room and my family room. I live in Florida. I can see it. Accent walls
Yeah.
are nice now, especially if you know how to do it right. It is
Mhm.
Hmm.
definitely a statement. All right, guys,
Yeah.
moving along. So just before they got into the construction phase of things, um the cookies on the counter, they were so pretty. She had the cookies on the counter, and Veronica asked
Hmm.
her like, where are these cookies from, kind of thing. And so they used, her and her sister used to bake with her mother, with their mom, and their mom actually left them a cookbook.
Yeah.
um and so they baked those cookies for like all the big events. So then that started kind of like the heirloom thing, if you will, like
Yeah.
this is in our family, we probably want to continue it. And then they said
Hmm.
that they had asked their mom to get them like a volume 2 of the cookbook, but
Hmm.
she has yet to do it. So I thought that was very, very that was touching. Actually, I wanted some of
That
those
was
cookies,
sweet.
to be honest.
I thought
Leonie
it was
on me
sweet.
today. Yeah,
Leone,
she's on me.
Leone, wait till we get to the edge. She said Bree need to brush up on 9.5. Bree be scoring them people. Bree's like, I'm giving her a 2. No, she was good
Right.
last week. Guess what, Kenya? Bree was
Hmm.
higher than me and Wani last week. Can you believe that?
Oh my
Even
goodness,
even
I
what?
was shocked. I was shocked.
even
Even,
Donzel, even
even
Donzel was in
before
shock.
Danielle said, Brie.
Donzel was in shock.
Maybe by the end of the
Danielle
show,
was like, oh.
your cocktail was kicking in, was it?
Donzel said,
So you
"Oh,
it took the
Brie."
edge
I
off.
had
You
a
were
little
like,
moment.
okay,
I
I
had
can
a
be
little
generous
moment.
today.
Yeah, it was a little moment.
A little moment.
It won't happen. It won't happen again.
I know. Look, yes, Will just say what happened again. I'm done. Awesome. So, all right, guys. So, moving into the construction, and they started to tear the walls down, and then the kitchen.
Ooh,
When I
I was
saw
like,
the
oh
code, I was
no.
like, and that's one of the drawbacks for me. Like when I look for a house, it has to be between a certain year, and yeah,
Hmm.
Mm,
because
Hmm.
that's one of my concerns with getting an older home, and you don't know what you're getting behind those
Right,
walls. And
right.
if you're not careful, that budget can be blown on just like fixing
mm-hmm.
things. We have seen it so many
Hmm.
times on like Property Brothers where they go in and
Yeah,
it's like, uh-oh, we have to move
yeah.
all these wires from here to there. There's
Mm,
mold. Sometimes there's
mm-hmm.
like, what do you call it that eats the house away? Like
Asbestos.
asbestos, all of that stuff. Like
Hmm.
it's too much. Just give me a
Right.
house that was made in like 2015, 2016. I'm good. I'll take that one. Thank you, guys.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I'm
That's
like,
where I am.
at least the 2000s, you
At
know.
least 2000.
At least. At least. But some people like that old character in old homes. And
Hmm.
which is interesting because I thought, for an older home, it would seem that you wouldn't have those kind of problems. But then again, the these the rules back there were to build a home is not the same as now.
Yeah, the standards have
So there's a
changed,
lot of
right?
things that you
Right.
have to add to an older home. So
And
in
a,
the
Yeah.
and a
past,
lot of times too, they didn't know back then. They didn't know asbestos was dangerous to your health, right? And like
mm-hmm,
lead in the paint, they didn't
mm-hmm,
know that's dangerous to a person's health. So
mm-hmm,
um, that's why when I'm like you, Shalom, like I think it's great for people who want to buy a 100-year-old home, a historical home. I think that's awesome. It's just not something that I would do. I like to know that everything is fresh, crisp, it's just a couple of years old. If it's a problem, it's under somebody's warranty.
mm-hmm,
Exactly,
mm-hmm.
exactly. I
That's
remember
right.
when we were house hunting to move here last year. I'm like, oh, look at this house. It's beautiful. It was built in 2005. My husband was like, Like,
It's
come
too
up.
old.
He's like, come up higher. Come up a little bit higher. I was like, okay, sir. He's like, because I don't want to go in and have to deal with any kind of issue.
Right, right. You're buying somebody else's problem.
Exactly. And he's like, no, I'm not
Hmm.
doing that. Not today, not never. All right.
That's true.
So during the planning phase, and they showed the beautiful white built-in. Who remembers
Hmm.
that? It was
Yeah,
very beautiful.
it was.
And then Veronica opened up her mouth and said she was gonna put wallpaper in the back of it. I was like,
Oh no.
I was
"Okay,
like,
if she tells
why?
me that grass cloth, I'm going to spank her."
Mm-mm.
I was like, what? And then you know what
Mm-mm.
was funny though? When she was like, okay, if we're gonna do wallpaper, let's set count to three. If we say it together, whatever. And the guy said it after her, she was like, 1, 2, 3, wallpaper. He's like,
I
wallpaper.
Wallpaper.
was like,
I was like, he's just going along with you because
"Thank
he was
you."
like,
He was such a yes man. He's a yes man.
Mm-hmm.
exactly,
Mm-hmm. He
exactly.
is. He
Tell him
I
the
was
is.
truth.
like, he knew he did not want to say no wallpaper. He couldn't even
It's like
say.
wallpaper, wallpaper. Oh,
I know.
please.
During the planning again, the dining room, and they were doing like that little mock-up of the gallery wall.
Mm,
I like the idea of having the colors represent the mom and the dad. So the pictures that they were going to put on the gallery wall, they were like, okay, we'll put the mom's family in like green and then the dad's in like the brown. And I'm like, okay, I like that idea, but I wasn't sold. I'm like, I want to see what it looks like first. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk about what it looked
Yeah.
like afterwards, right?
Right.
I think that
All
was just a
right.
little bit too deep for me, but okay.
I was like, I was just listening, thinking like you. I was like, okay, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. All right. So here is one of our favorite parts was going to the family historian. And
Mm,
unfortunately the couple did not get to join Veronica, but she went to see the historian and found some pretty neat things about Adrian's grandparents. That's the
Mm-hmm.
husband's grandparents. They found out that they were Holocaust survivors. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
no.
Um,
Mhm.
and they were liberated after the Holocaust, and they traveled to Australia. And then they had
Yeah.
a manifest, right, of the
Yeah.
travel, like them traveling. I love stuff like that. And I know
Mm.
what you're gonna say, Bree. She needs to do something different, but
No, this one wasn't too bad because after she said that, then she started bringing in the recipes and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, because I was gonna say, I hope that's not it.
I know
you
that's
know,
right.
so I come on now, and I hope that's not it. But then she started bringing in something else, and I'm like, okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like that.
happy she didn't disappoint you this week, Bree, on that front.
Yeah.
All right, so they found that the grandparents, like I said, were survivors of Holocaust survivors. And then Leor's grandmother, they found that article in the local
Mm-hmm.
the
I
Louisville,
thought that was
Kentucky
neat.
paper where
Mm-hmm.
she had like her an article on all her recipes and everything.
That
And
was
it was
cool.
at this point, it was kind of like watching a movie because then she had recipes in the article. And I thought to myself, could that be volume two? Like, she
You're right.
that she wished her mom would do volume two. So when they found the article and said that, there were like some recipes in it, I'm like, wow, that was
That
that
was
was
cool.
pretty neat right
That was
there.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I
Pretty
thought
cool.
that was really cool, really special.
I love that. And the picture was still there with her. I was like, oh my God. And that reminded me of my own grandmother. My grandmother passed in September of last year. But where my grandmother is from in Jamaica, my grandmother lived in Montego Bay before
Mm,
she migrated to Canada in her last years. And she was like a VIP in her city, honey. So there
Mm.
is a picture. And when I saw this today, I'm like, I need to reach out to my family because they were opening a branch of a bank, one of those banks in Jamaica. They were opening a new branch, and they
mhm.
actually called her to do the ribbon cutting.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
So that was in the paper. So I need to find out
Yeah,
from my aunt. So my mom's on here and one of my aunts on here. If y'all know where that newspaper article of grandma, where can we find that newspaper article? I remember seeing it. Somebody had it with grandma
mm,
cutting ribbon for the opening of that branch. I would absolutely love to have it. Do you guys
yeah.
have anything of like your parents or your grandparents, maybe who are no longer with us, that you hold on to and put it in your home as like an heirloom or a memory or something? Let us know in the chat if you guys have any of that. And I am going to endeavor to find that article of my grandmother. My
That's
grand
cool.
Well, sometimes when I look at it, it's kind of like I mirror her. My grandmother was a banker.
Mm-hmm.
Who's a banker? Me. Right? So I want to
Awesome.
find that. So mommy, please get to work. Please get to work, mommy. Do your little investigative stuff and find me that article of grandma cutting the ribbon at that bank in Montego Bay. Thank you. God bless you. All right. Do you guys have
That's
anything
cool
that
that she lived in Montego Bay. I've had fun there a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Couple
yeah.
times. Couple times.
That's where we still stayed there when my grandmother's house, because my aunt, one of my other aunts lived there. We stayed there
Oh,
when we go to Jamaica. It's like
oh,
Mm.
cool.
10, 15 minutes at best, at the most from the airport.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's where we stay, and until the kids start complaining that they ain't got no Wi-Fi and they need to go back to the hotel. So we're like, oh my goodness. But if it's just us, like me, my aunt, my mom, whatever, we stay at the house. We stay at the house and pick
Nice.
mangoes from the tree, and our friends bring us all the fruits and all that stuff. We just have a
Mm-hmm.
go.
Oh,
All
nice.
right. So in the planning, the count, oh my goodness, the price of the stuff, the price of the items.
That's ridiculous.
So what I got was that hood that they put in the kitchen. Let me just do a price check one good time. The kitchen hood was $2,650.
Why?
They did a like a coffee bar.
Yeah.
That was
Hmm.
$15,000 for that bar thing. I was
I
like,
don't get
wait,
it. I
what?
just don't get it. Okay.
15,000?
I mean, like going to one of those, what do they call? Restoration home.
I was
Restoration
like, did they
hardware.
put a Starbucks
Yeah.
in there?
Restoration. Huh?
I was like, did they put a Starbucks in there?
Yeah, they
I
had
mean,
that.
shoot, they probably have the, what do you call it? What do you call it? The bus, what you call it? The person
The
that make the
barista.
coffee.
The barista,
Yes. You got a
It has
barista in
its
there.
own barista for 15,000, and she better
right?
be present every time I need coffee.
Yeah.
Exactly. Every morning
Then
That's
without
crazy.
ask.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
the breakfast nook, there's like a hutch that they put in the breakfast nook. That was $8,500. I was like, good night.
Mm-mm.
The floating shelves. At first, when I
Mm-hmm.
heard the price, they were in the kitchen. They were $5,500. But after I saw them, I was like, okay, I know why. But it was still
Mm.
high. The gallery
I
wall
didn't.
frames,
I,
the picture frames,
Mm.
they were five
oh, see,
hundred
they get
dollars.
to go to Dollar Tree or make them
And the Goodwill. I'm like, go
something.
to the Salvation Army, the Goodwill, the
I know.
what's the other one? Whatever the
The
other one.
repurpose store. I know what you're talking
Right, the
Yeah,
about.
there's
repurpose store. Right.
repurpose stores, restore or
Yeah.
whatever.
$100 for some frames. And
That's
then the countertop
ridiculous.
was what, $6,000. I was like, budget blown, budget blown, budget blown, budget
Yeah.
blown. Siren, 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 sirens. Okay.
Right.
Ching, 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 ching.
In the words of my sister Wani, you know what she says every week. They owe me some change. They were
Now
like,
you some change. No, she wouldn't get no change back with them prices.
I'm
so
like, girl, she don't know where to shop. She don't know
yeah,
where or how to shop. She
I
don't.
find that her spending is like, they gave me this budget. I'm just gonna blow all of it. Like,
Yeah.
show me where you're cutting costs a little bit, right?
Right.
No child.
Trying at least because then you could do more. Like, why don't you make my dollars go further?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
like, the bar by night and coffee station by day is what it is. I couldn't believe the price when I saw that at $15,000. I was like, no, ma'am,
Whatever.
no, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. I don't
Whatever.
need to be
Unless they had a barista at night and a bartender, a barista in the morning, a bartender at night.
I'm like, I don't need you to set that up in the corner of the kitchen right beside the refrigerator. I'll take it there, honey, and give me my $15,000 back.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you. Put it on the countertop. Right.
So one of the things that I learned again is when they were looking at like the details, like in the kitchen, and they talked about the hood and the little detail the hood have with the curve and then the straight line, and then they kind of mimicked the edges of the island
Yeah.
the same way, and it's called the OG step, the OGEE. OG
Oh.
step, where the marble is kind of like, it's like a step up.
Huh.
It has it's almost like a little border.
Yeah,
I,
I saw it, but I didn't
that's
write down the
another line.
name of it. I just
I can't explain. I can't articulate it well, but I've never heard that term before. So that is
Hmm.
something that I definitely need to do. And
Okay.
I did notice that. I thought that was a great detail. Like sometimes it's the little things that make a big statement.
Exactly.
And so but I didn't write that name down. So I'm glad you said it because I wrote it down so I can look it up. Because I just thought, oh, that's cool. That's cool that I like it when things kind of mimic each other, or it's like a continuation, of something. So it makes it more of a cohesive look to me.
Exactly. So what
Hmm.
I do is whenever I watch the episodes or whatever I'm watching for that matter, it doesn't matter. Even if I'm watching like or listen to like a podcast or something, if I hear something that I've never heard before, I write it down and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back
Hmm.
afterwards. So when she said that, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, the OG step in the marble matches the curve on top of the hood. I was like, okay, nice little
Hmm.
detail because you have to consider that this is their basically their forever home.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So they want everything in it, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we jump back. I'm jumping back based on how it was airing. The
Hmm.
heirloom project. She always does an heirloom project. And
Hmm.
she called her aunt, she called Leor's aunt to get like recipes so that they could put
Yeah.
the recipe book together with
Yeah.
the recipes from the article. And Aunt Mimi was a little spicy. I liked her. I was like, you better go ahead, Aunt Mimi. Like she was
Oh
so
no.
prim and just, she just looked. She was like, I have a whole bunch for you. I was like, okay, go ahead, Aunt Mimi. But to Bree's point, I thought that was a great effort on her part to reach out to the
Mm-hmm.
family members and the friends to see
Yeah.
like the
Yeah, that was a good effort. Very,
Yeah.
very good effort.
Yeah.
Especially
absolutely.
when she liked recipes. It was a great effort. That was really nice. Nice
Yeah.
for her to do
I
that.
left out one price. I'm sorry. The built-in sofa,
Oh yeah.
$2,900.
But that wasn't too bad though.
Budget blown. Siren, siren, sirens.
The sofa wasn't too bad because you could buy a settee. When you get a sectional like that, that'll get you three to 4,000 right there. But
They did a
I didn't think
built-in,
that was too
child.
bad.
All right. So, what did you guys think about the outside of the house after the what did the landscapers, what did the people do to like I didn't see any landscaping, so what exactly happened to like damage of the stucco outside? What happened? I'm like
They
And they cut all
painted
the
it.
ivy or whatever back. I was like, I would have been ready to fight. I don't know, but I was like, I would have been like, okay, who do I have to fight? Because they just jacked up my project.
I know.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Was it that something she planted or was something that they were planting? What was it? It was
I
the
have no
flowers down
idea.
there?
She said that the landscapers messed up the stucco on the outside of the home. And when you guys, for those of you who didn't see the episode, when you drive up to the house now, the front of the house has like patches of like
Yeah,
missing. It was the house was painted in a blue, like missing paint
Missing
chips.
chips chipped
right.
off.
Yeah, in like on
Yeah,
like large scales, like what the
right.
heck happened to the house? And then for you to leave your home and to come back to see it in disrepair, like your heart just kind of like just drops.
Right.
And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter
Exactly.
what it looks like inside. You can't take your mind off of that. Like,
Right. I think too that there should have been a level of responsibility on their part, because it's like, how do you cause such damage and not even say anything? Like they had to find it. So
yeah,
I said, I would have been like, okay, I'm too through. Somebody got to hold me back because we got a problem.
I'm hoping that um it was actually like a blessing in disguise because
Yeah.
then they repainted
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and it was
I wrote the house is beautiful outside.
it was
Yeah, it
Landscape
was
is.
so
black and
nice.
white. It was black and white. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm like, come
Hmm.
on, Bree finally got what she wanted, honey. The black and white. And I said to myself, finally, he
Yeah.
painted somebody's door.
Yes, she did. Painted it black, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Bree, I gotta tell you, Addison is on the black and white train when it comes to houses because we're gonna be selling our house in the next couple of years. And he was like, can we please buy a white house with black trim? And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
are you serious? And he was like, yeah. Or we could paint this house. I was like, no.
I
We'll
love it
look
though.
for that. Mhm.
I like this house and no.
It's
No,
very
not this one.
classic
No.
looking. It's very classy.
But you know
Yeah.
what, you know what my daughter said to me? She was driving around and she said, "Mom, there is a house in here that the HOA is going to get them." They live kind of more on the backside. It's like the older side. So I don't know if they have look HOA immunity or what it is, but they have pretty much spray painted the entire house black.
Black,
Can you stand at the HOA immunity?
They spray
bl-
paint.
They
black.
have HOA immunity.
No,
No,
no. I
no,
will be blowing the HOA up with letters.
no.
It's
Mm-mm.
full black. And then the
Completely black.
like have you ever all seen Tiny from Escape? Have you all seen Tiny's house?
Yeah, yeah.
The jet black house?
Oh, I didn't
Mm-mm,
know her
never
house
seen it.
was black. I know who you're talking
They
about.
she it's one of her properties, but the house is jet black. That's what
Mm.
they did to this house up in these
Wow.
streets. I'm like, we will never hear the end of it. This ain't done. This is about to be a war up in here because and
Right?
so they painted the house black. The shutters and everything else is in white, and they have a red door. Good night.
A red door and all that black.
I know there's gonna be some issues.
Is it Halloween?
No, I'm not ready. I
That's
don't want
horrible.
look. I wouldn't want none of that HOA smoke. Let's just say that.
Right? I'm
I'm
gonna be
glad I
glad
live.
I'm not their neighbor because I'd be
I'm glad
like,
I
I
live
got a
on
serious
this
problem.
side. Exactly. I am so glad I live on this side.
Well, we had a neighbor that's painted down their whole house lilac.
Oh.
Oh, let me know in the chat. Do you have let me know if any of you guys have neighbors or in your community where like listen, if you're from Brampton, don't say nothing, okay? Because
I'm like, our HOA over here don't play. We got a letter. I'm gonna just tell you guys. Just the other day, they were like, "You need to pressure wash your driveway because it has a couple of spots." I was like, "Our driveway do not have any spots." Then I looked at it, and the two neighbors on both sides of us just had theirs pressure washed. So now ours does look a bit discolored. I'm gonna
I
say it
know,
ain't no
yeah.
spots, but
And
I was
that's
like, okay, it's slightly discolored,
okay,
so
I get it.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna take care of that. But I was like, you wasted that whole letter to send me that when it ain't like we got oil stains on our drive, whatever. It's like it's just because we didn't do it in the spring like we normally do.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it ain't no spots. What are they talking about? But then I was driving up to the house and theirs are like sparkling, and then ours is like, looking a little dusty.
No, Dusty.
A little
Looking a
dusty,
little
and I get
dusty.
that because that's how they are in here, right? They're
Hmm.
strict. Like
Hmm.
my neighbor got a mail in his mail. It's like, can you please pick up the weeds from the side of your house? I'm looking at the side of this house, and I'm like, what weeds are they referring to? I don't see it, but they say
Right.
on him, and his property is beautiful. And then the next thing they're like, yeah, you need to do some work or paint like the shutters, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this.
They
What are
doing
you
the
doing?
inspection.
I'm like, dude, and then the opposite neighbor, they're like, you have weeds in the back. Like, who is walking onto the property to
Right.
say you have weeds in the back? So that's why with this house that's black, I don't want none of that smoke. I'm glad I'm on this side. I'll stay on this side.
Right.
All right,
That's
guys.
hilarious.
Moving right along. Then we talked about the house, the outdoors, and everything, which was beautiful. Let's move into the reveal, guys. The
Mm,
reveal. Reveal.
mm.
So, what are your first thoughts on them walking into the home? Y'all don't have to talk at once.
Look,
I didn't like
I
it.
was like, I was giving Bree an opportunity, but I should probably go ahead. I thought, in my opinion, I thought she did a good job. I thought it was overall nice. And that's why when you said the coastal grandma, I was like, I'm gonna have to look at that because really it was giving me. Veronica did say too, she was excited to do this style because it's more of her style. So to me, it felt like this was her best look to me because it's what she really
It's
likes.
her element. She was in her element.
Exactly,
I
exactly. And it's what I like.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, I can get with this because I like the comfort, the comfortable kind of cozy, cottagey kind of vibes, a little bit of farmhouse, but a little bit of modern, a little bit of glam, So I was like, I like this look. So I was impressed with the initial viewing.
yeah. Bree, what didn't you like about it?
It reminded me grandma with an update.
What about it? What about it?
It looked like something like it looks like my grandmother's house, and she looked at something and said, "Ooh, I want to put this here and make it update." It just looked like I couldn't figure it out. I looked at it and I'm like,
Bree, you
okay,
know your grandmother don't have no big old island with no Korean countertops.
no, I'm talking about the
Oh
dining room. I'm talking about the dining
no,
room.
well,
I'm
the dining
talking
room is
about
a separate topic. We
Yeah.
should.
All right, let's go room by room. Let's do the kitchen first. What were your thoughts on the kitchen, Bree? Can you?
Excuse me. I
I
thought
didn't
the
like
kitchen was
anything
nice.
in that kitchen.
Huh?
I didn't like
Huh?
anything in that kitchen.
Oh no!
I
Wow,
thought the
really?
kitchen was
I
beautiful.
did
I didn't like a
too.
thing in that kitchen.
I
You know
love
what
the
I wrote?
kitchen.
I wrote kitchen all white, bright, beautiful with the gold bling accents. I thought it was just fresh and
Mm,
refreshing. I thought, especially
I
from what it
loved
was
it.
before.
I absolutely
mm,
loved it. And remember earlier when I said that they spent the $5,500 on the floating shelves? I could see why, because what they did, they ran that marble all the way up the wall and did the
Hmm.
marble shelving. I loved everything about the kitchen. I love
Yeah.
the big old stove with the red knobs.
Yes.
Y'all see that?
I'm gonna have that in my next house.
I
I'm gonna
know
have one
that's
like that.
right. I love
Hmm.
the brass hardware,
Yes.
the pipes.
Yeah,
I think it was beautiful.
I did too.
mm,
I
mm,
I
did. It was speaking to me.
The only thing
mm.
that I didn't like in the beginning when they were trying it out, but then it worked out afterwards, were those two little lights that she was putting over the floating shelves at
Oh
first.
yeah,
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 that was just ugly.
I was like, what
I
are
was
yeah,
like,
these things? But then when it finished, when everything came together, I was like, okay, it's not that bad. One of the things that I would have done though is I would have removed the shades,
yeah,
mm,
the little tiny shades, and just leave
yeah.
it. I would have just left it like
Right,
shadeless.
right.
Right?
mm,
I think the kitchen was absolute. I think it was beautiful.
I did
I
mm,
too.
loved it.
I
All
did
right,
mm.
the
too.
breakfast area, the
The
little
who?
The breakfast area.
the breakfast room with the banquet.
I wrote that it was. I thought it was fresh and pretty. I thought it was pretty. I thought it was a nice spot to have breakfast. I like all how bright and it was, and all the windows and everything. So I thought it was. I thought it was cute. I thought it went with the house too. So.
Absolutely. The only thing
I
I
didn't
didn't
see
like
anything.
there was that the furniture that they had bought, they had like thrifted, and then they built the top with the drawers. I
Mm,
didn't so much care for that being there. But that
yeah.
little area with the banquet and the table, the little round
Yeah.
table, I thought it was very, very nice.
Yeah.
Me?
I,
Yeah.
it was it was
Okay. All right. Moving right.
one thing I would say is that when they had the new hutch that the guy built in there.
The brown one, yes.
I think that was out of place. I don't know why. It just didn't fit. It
I
didn't
didn't like
fit.
it. I didn't like it
It didn't.
either.
Mm-mm. It
It
didn't
kind
fit.
of
It
it
looked
looked
like it
to
was out of
me.
place. The whole style didn't fit at all.
Mm,
I didn't like it in that room, and I didn't like the little white. You know how you have the old filing cabinets back in the day where
yeah.
you put the letters and stick it down in the front.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
what it reminded me of when I looked at it. I
Yeah.
didn't really care for it right there. Maybe a
Right.
different color, maybe a lighter color, maybe like a cream or a
Mm,
eggshell or something. It would have gone
Mm-hmm.
a little bit better with the decor that was in that room, but I didn't really care. I didn't care for it too much either. I just
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing I will say is I like that take that she did on the floors, how she kind of revamped or updated the floor look from the black and white to
Yeah,
the pattern still, but just in a more muted, softer tone. So it wasn't so hollow,
yeah,
at you I thought she did a good job on that. So it still gave some character, but not outdated. It was a more modern look on it. I thought that was cool.
absolutely.
I
I
understand
like
you.
that.
Okay. All right.
She keep Bree's like, okay, fine, I'll do that. Okay, y'all talk to me about the $15,000 bar.
A waste of money. It looked like a white cabinets to me. I didn't see nothing that was worth 15,000. What was it, the wood that they paint over it?
I
Right.
I agree. It was nice, but it wasn't $15,000 nice.
Mm-mm,
No.
You know what I'm
mm-mm.
saying? Like she could have done better with that part.
She gotta do. I feel like she just needs to do better with her budget altogether. I'm like you. Maybe she thinks, well, because it costs more, then it's gonna be more impressive, or maybe it's the quality of the product. Maybe the quality of the product is really high quality, and so that's why it costs so much. But I'm like, you can do the same thing at a lesser price, but still have a very good quality piece
The same
too.
effect.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
So.
I just don't get it. How high of a quality is wood?
Very high.
I'm like, is it Acadian wood or
But it's
something, or
painted.
as
But it's
opposed to
painted.
cedar
Now, when you
wood,
get to
or
those high quality woods, you want it even natural, but they
right,
painted it. So it must not have been
right,
too high quality.
Yeah,
right,
but she
yeah,
gotta check who she shops with.
yeah.
There
Her
you go,
vendors are,
Leonie.
yeah.
I
IKEA.
know.
You're IKEA,
Everybody
Leonie. I
getting
hear
their
you.
cut on her
I
projects.
know. All right, then we go into the dining room. What did you guys think of the dining room?
My grandmother was an upgrade.
Again,
That's for sure. There, yeah. I was
I
not impressed.
it was okay. It was okay for me. I was not loving the gallery wall. Remember, I said that we
No,
were using the two different.
I didn't like that either.
I would have preferred to see something a little more uniform. Maybe all
yeah,
black frames in different sizes, different shapes, maybe.
right.
And then that piece that's under, like the sideboard that's underneath it, they are totally
Mhm.
disconnected. The sideboard's totally
Hmm.
Right.
disconnected from the gallery wall. Like it didn't flow. I was like,
No,
At
oh,
all.
come on
Mm-mm.
now. Come on
it
now.
Mm-mm.
was a total miss to me.
That's
I
why
was
it looks
like,
just like my
this.
grandmother with an upgrade. That's exactly
And
what.
the
It
frame
did.
pictures were beautiful. And then they had the one that they took from the newspaper with the grandmother. Like
Right.
they
That
had,
was
but
nice.
I was like, no, that was a miss for me with the option
Yeah.
to do the green and I'm like, I like the concept, but it was not executed well.
It was
Mm.
not. And I didn't think that it went with the other space
It
either.
didn't.
No,
It was
no, not
just
at all.
like
It didn't flow. It didn't
completely
flow at all.
oddball.
It didn't.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was like, why did she go way left here? It
Yeah,
was like just, it should have been in a whole nother house somewhere else. It didn't belong in that space at all. I was
or
like,
in the
no.
basement if you had one. Right? It was like right now I'm sitting in my dining room. I don't want all that in here. I want
Right.
clean. Yeah,
Right.
to each his own. They seem to absolutely love it on camera. I don't know what happened after the cameras went
She
out.
took that mess down.
All right. So I think we share the same. I love the heirloom. I love that the books
That
came
was cool.
together and they ended up with 3 volumes, volume one, two, and
Hmm.
three. Did you notice that?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
Yeah.
I absolutely love
Yeah.
that.
That was cool.
Now
Yeah.
I love that they framed the shipping ledger, and they framed the cooking newspaper thing. I
Yeah.
like that they did that. They finally did something.
Finally. Yes.
Finally
Yeah.
did something with that.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
They finally did that. That was amazing.
Incorporated it in a nice way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last place that they went to was the living room. What did you guys think of the living room?
Now I didn't think that was too bad. I thought that was okay.
I actually love
Okay.
it. I
I did
actually love the
too.
living room. I'm not gonna lie. When the camera was panning around, at first I was concerned about them painting the built-in, but I kind of like the color she chose.
Yeah. Yeah.
That color was it was nice in that space. And then all the
You
Right.
talking about in the wall
the
color?
chairs. Yes. I
Mhm.
like at first I was like, Lord, here we go again. But I'll give it to her on this one. And when
Mhm.
the couple, I'm not gonna lie, when the couple was standing in there, they were looking at the stuff, it gave me the house to me in that space looked to me like we got some money. There
Yeah.
was something about the room that spoke kind of like old money. You know how if you
Yeah.
go to like somebody's house with the old money, like it just has a
Mhm.
look. It's hard to explain, but when you walk in, you're like, yeah,
It was
like
very classy.
Mhm.
Had that
very
classy.
classy, very
Right.
elegant.
Right.
It was a subtle opulence.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I thought
Yeah,
it was beautiful. I
I
thought it
Very
was
balanced.
do.
comfortable
It
and
was very
inviting.
balanced. Mm-hmm.
Love My Babies Forever says NCB Bank. I think it might be NCB Bank. If you remember a lady cutting a ribbon at NCB Bank in Montego Bay, send me the clip. Send me the article, okay?
But I thought they
Yeah,
did
I
very
thought
well blending the old with the new. I thought they did a great job
Yes,
with that.
yes.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think to
yeah,
me, this was Veronica. This was her time to shine for me, and she showed her skills or her ability. I saw it more in that than I have in the previous episodes. And to me, I thought it looked like you said it looked luxurious but comfortable and inviting, like a space that you don't feel like, oh, I don't want to touch anything. You feel like you could sit down and be comfortable,
yeah,
but but also it's in a very beautiful space, so you don't have to feel like, oh, I got to be very formal in here. I thought she did a
exactly.
great job.
So I'm gonna go back to the beginning of my notes with when I talk about the coastal grandma. It's exactly what you're describing, Kenya. It's laid
Hmm.
back, comfy, luxurious, sophisticated neutrals and lines and
Oh,
stuff like that. So she did execute that well. And to your point
I didn't see
earlier,
that.
she
Mm.
was in her zhuzh, honey. Like
she was.
this is her
I
decor,
must be
her
looking at
design
a different
style.
show.
This is which episode did you watch?
I, I watched five. I just,
Oh my goodness.
I
Hey
don't know.
B,
You
welcome
know
to the
what? It was just
episode.
to me. It was okay. It was okay. The
All
best room
right.
that I liked was the family room.
All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna vote. Let me get your vote, Bree.
Excuse me.
As I cringe, V what V not V Bree. I'm saying hi to V, but calling Bree V.
Oh, okay.
Bree, what's your vote, Bree? What's your vote?
I was going to get y'all votes first.
No, you go first.
Right.
Her face. She covers her face. Bree, what's your vote? Please, Bree, please. I can't speak tonight.
I
I
can't
can't
see it
see.
with your background.
Did you say 4.7?
Yep.
I can see it. Oh, wow.
Okay. Why not? Or why?
4.7. She said that it's supposed to be some modern in there. The only thing that I seen modern really was the mustard chairs. Those were cute. Those mustard chairs. I think they were in the family room. Was it the family room or in the
It was in
yeah,
the
I
yeah,
think
in the living room with the
in the
beautiful
living room.
picture.
Now I like those mustard. I like the style. That was very modern. But I didn't see anything else that was modern in there other than the marble in the kitchen. But
Okay.
that don't really means marble. I mean modern because you have marble. But as far as the style, I didn't see no modern in there other than those two chairs. And to me, it didn't really jump out at me.
Okay.
It didn't jump out at me at all. She opened up the door and they looked and I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay. I got you. All right. Kenya.
Well, obviously, I have a difference of opinion.
Oh, that's
This,
okay.
yeah, I am really feeling the coastal grandma. I'll definitely be looking into that, and thank you for showing me that I was describing it, and I didn't even know that I was describing it.
You did.
So, it's definitely I I'm like Veronica. That's kind of my vibe. That's kind of what I like aesthetically in my home, and so. I thought she did a fantastic job. I was like, I'm gonna give her an 8.5. Um, and maybe a 9, but I didn't go to a 9 because the grandma dining room was just such a miss that I was like, I gotta deduct some points on
Yeah.
that because, but otherwise, I felt like she did a good job. And I'll go back and look at the episode and because there were some things that I really liked that I want to, take a second look at. So yeah, I thought she did a great job. That's 8.5 for me.
All right, there you go. Guys, while we're doing this and we're doing our ratings, make sure if you've seen the episode to put your ratings in the chat as well. That way we can check you out. Personally, I think she did a beautiful job. I think to date, this is the best
Yeah.
design that I've seen her
Mhm.
execute. And I think, again, as we said earlier, that it's more her within her element. I think she
Mhm.
did an amazing job. I love the little touches. The house was just fresh. It was just new.
Yeah.
It was just different. Like you couldn't walk into it after she was done and say, "Oh, this is a 100-year-old home." Like
Yeah.
it was beautiful. And I
Mhm.
give her an 8. I'm gonna give her an
Okay.
8. And
Awesome.
the 8 is for missing the mark on the gallery wall.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
gallery wall was like, no, ma'am, try again. But I think everything
Exactly.
else, I love the idea of to Bree's point earlier that she finally framed like the manifest from the traveling of the grandparents
Mhm.
and that
Mhm.
newspaper article. And there were touches we didn't even touch on the fact that they were Jewish and all the little
Oh yeah.
candles for every Friday they have their I don't want to
Pachuca is it called? I might
no, I
look
should
at
know.
it.
I honestly should know better. I know it. I just don't want to say it, incorrectly. It
Mm.
just to honor my our Jewish audience. It's Shabbat. It's Friday.
Shabbat.
It's Shabbat. It's every Friday. And the little bit that I know of that culture is that everything like they don't do anything like Friday evening. That's it. I know my husband works in a hospital, and even like stuff like electronic things, like even if they have to go in the elevator, they would ask if you could press the button for them, that sort of thing. And
Mm,
Mm.
every Friday for them is like how we have our big Sunday dinners.
Mm.
mm-hmm.
It's Friday for them because one of my aunts also used to work with a Jewish family, and that was the experience. Is like they had like caterers and people serving the like it was like it's a big thing like every Friday. Like
Oh,
now they would be like just feasting.
oh wow.
Oh yeah, so I was pleased to see her incorporate like the little candlesticks and the little things that
Mhm.
represented their culture. So that was
Mm-hmm.
also great. All
They
right,
had
I
some
don't think
nice touches
I think
there, some nice Jewish touches there. I thought that she did very well with that.
absolutely. She honored that very well. Jacqueline said she rated the 8 because it was the best one I seen. There you go.
I
All wrapped
agree.
up in a nutshell. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So hopefully the episodes get better and better. I'm always curious to see what she will be doing for the next week, as well as to um, learn and take little pieces from like the historic part of things where she
Yeah.
gets into the background. So for this episode, she has me wanting to check out my grandmother's article. So thank you for that. Right. All
Mhm.
right, guys. Is there anything else from either of you?
Mm-mm.
All
No,
right,
that's
we're
it.
going to
I
go ahead
enjoyed
and
it.
wrap up. Audience, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, next week we will be looking at episode 6, and the
Yeah.
show again is Revealed on HGTV. I catch it personally on HGTV Go. I think some people catch it on what, Discovery?
Yeah, I
Discovery
do.
Channel.
I get on
Discovery
Discovery.
Channel, and
Mhm.
it comes on live on HGTV on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. EST, 9 p.m. CST. Revealed, don't forget the name, Revealed. And next week we'll be talking about episode 6. So make sure you come pumped with your drinks and ready to chat about it next Friday when we meet. Until then, have yourself a great, 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 wonderful, wonderful weekend. And to my fellow Canadians, enjoy your long weekend. I wish I was there with you so I could lay up in the bed on Monday, but no, I'm here, so I have to go to work. All right. So until then, love you guys. Take care. Bye bye.
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 Bye bye. See you next week, Donzel. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye, y'all.
Bye.
Mwah.